What's up, guys? Stout Alchemist here with
Gersh1,
and we're back at it to answer your questions in another episode for the Greater.
So this is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you want to ask us a question, simply comment down below. Today we're doing something a little different because we're not going to really answer a question that you guys left, but we're going to talk about a very big announcement for GW. But if you want your question answered, simply put question in front of your question, and then we will be able to answer it in the comment section below for next week.
That's right, guys. And this question is not by you guys, it's by us.
What do we think of the new Primaris Marines? I'm not talking about the ones that came up with the starter set or anything. I'm talking about the Reivers.
There are Reivers, there are Aggressors, and spoiler alert, you got a Chaplain and a Apothecary.
The Chaplain looks pretty badass. Kind of gives me the vibe of a Dark Angel, though.
Yeah, it's very Dark Angel-y.
He has a cloak on. We're not going to post pictures or anything like that, but if you jump on over to our Facebook, all the pictures are there, for obvious reasons. We're not going to post it here. So let's start with the Reivers. First time I saw the Reivers, I thought they look amazing.
Yeah, I never liked Scouts, but this was an exception.
Yeah. So basically, that's what they're gonna fulfill. They're gonna fulfill the role of fast attack, infiltrate, even though there's no infiltrate anymore.
Yeah, I think it's just now like you just place them like 9 inches away from enemy units.
So some type of special rule like that.
Yep.
The models look amazing. The box set is gonna come with a shit ton.
Well, there's 2 waves of Reivers coming out.
Okay.
There's gonna be an easy to build box set that has 3 Reivers, which I think GW dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah, they're just fucking with us.
Yeah, because in order to use Reivers, you need a squad of at least 5.
So they're gonna give you 3.
Yeah, it's like, nope, buy another box, guys.
But then you get the box that comes out probably in a couple months.
Yeah, and it has a full 10-man squad.
Yeah, and that's awesome. They look really cool. A lot of them have like a punk vibe because of course they have the skeleton mats.
Yeah.
And then they have like there's one guy I saw with like dreads. So he has like the reverse of what I have. So it's long right here and short up here, and this is braided. But they're Space Marines, so they can do whatever they want.
That's a good way of putting it.
So now let's jump on over to the other awesome unit that is coming out, the Aggressors, right?
The Aggressors look pretty badass. They've got the gaunt like a Power Fist, but with a bolter on it, so that's pretty amazing.
And they got rockets right on top. Basically like your Terminators with the Thunder missiles or something like that?
I got the vibe from the Centurion power armor.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they the replacement for tactical or dreadnought armor?
They're either going to be replacing the Terminators, yeah, or, like I said, they might be just a Centurion version of it. I'm not entirely sure. They're called Aggressors, but we'll see.
Yeah, they look really badass, and they just look like they can, pack a really strong punch. You only get 3, though.
Yeah,
or
the box set comes with 3.
Yeah, which is kind of a bummer, but again, it's like you said, more Centurion type of feel.
Right, more elite. Yeah.
Yep. And then there was another, the Chaplain.
Chaplain, and then you got an Apothecary. If you guys picked up the 8th edition box set, or if you won the box set that we did the giveaway on, inside the actual 40K rule book for 8th edition, there's actually a picture of a Primaris Apothecary. So that was kind of like spoilers for what's to come. And we actually get an actual leak on an actual Chaplain and Apothecary. It looks the same as a regular Apothecary, just, true scale.
I don't remember what the Apothecary looked like, but we already said the Chaplain looks like a Dark Angel.
Yeah.
Tell us what you guys think. How are you guys taking in all these new models that are basically destroying your old models? Because if you put a Primaris Marine next to a regular Space Marine, you don't even feel like you're playing the same game.
It's like, oh, come on, really?
Not in terms of the way they feel and like gameplay-wise, but the way they look. I still really like them.
Yeah, I'm genuinely liking them more and more with every little thing they're releasing with them. I don't know. I think the lore could have been worked on a little bit more, like the way they introduced them, because they feel they just came out of nowhere. It's like, oh, by the way, here's some super soldiers that we've been saving for 10,000 years, but whatever. They look awesome, and I'll forgive them for that.
Yep.
So on to the next question. No, these are actually from you guys. This one is All Might. So instead of a movie, how do you think the fans would react if we got a few 5-minute animated shorts, kind of like the animated Star Wars The Clone Wars for 40K?
They would be crazy. Just look at how well the shorts for like the return of Gilliman, the Primaris Marine like creation, like those shorts aren't very good. Like they're very like simple.
Yeah.
Yet they get so many views and people get all crazy about them. And they would get even bigger if GW let you comment and like the videos, but they disabled that stuff. Yeah, but that would be awesome. It would be a really good way to advance the story.
Right. I feel like since you're narrowing it down from like a movie to episodes to 5 minutes, you could put a whole bunch of content jam-packed in there. So like instead of creating a narrative, you could just jump right into a battle.
Yep. And you know what? I actually think that, yeah, it's going to happen soon because GW is kind of answering all of our pleas, basically. And you know how, Warcraft. Warcraft has, like, cool shorts, especially with the Orks. There's, like, some type of, like, clan unification or whatever. GW is probably going to do something like that for the...
Yeah, with Blizzard does a lot of awesome stuff with their animated shorts, so hopefully GW can get on that train as well.
Yep. Next question comes from Smiley Jim 126. Who would win, 5 Primaris Marines or 10 normal Marines? Good question.
I'm gonna have to go with the Primaris, just because they have an extra wound, and technically they had more advanced weapons.
Yep. Yeah. The Primaris Marine would win more often than the regular Space Marines, but it all depends on the situation, the scenario, and all that good stuff.
Who's got the higher ground?
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, always.
Next question.
Dragon Punch 903. What would be better suited to fight against Orks? Terminator armor or regular power armor?
Whatever you want. Oh, if you're a Space Marine player and you're fighting Orks, you're not going to have trouble. You're not.
Well, now in 8th edition, who knows?
Yeah, so you're right. 8th edition. I'm not too familiar with 8th edition yet.
Yeah. Thinking of it lore-wise, I'd rather wear tactical armor instead of dreadnought armor, because I'd rather be quicker than more heavily armored against Orks, which generally outnumber you.
Yeah. I guess you could take it both ways, though, because, like, Orks are going to attack you regardless. They're going to want to get into melee, so if you have, like, dreadnought armor or Terminator armor, you can stand there and, like, slice through it.
That's another way of doing it, yeah.
Like butter.
Ooh.
Next question. Or is it me?
It's you.
Index. Where's the best place to start for a person new to Warhammer universe? In terms of lore, your codexes, which are coming out. The first codex to come out for 8th edition will be the Space Marine.
And that comes out next month in August.
Yep. So be sure to pick that up. Go to your local used bookstore, and they usually have old codexes for sale for like $4. Pick them up, or go on. If you go on eBay, they're a little more expensive.
Yeah, but generally they're a little bit in better condition.
Yeah. So yeah, do that. And then if you're talking about the game, the starter collection sets, because it's $85, and you're basically getting an HQ for free.
And they're generally easier to build than like the regular stuff, right? Or is it just?
No, I think it's just regular.
Just
stuff.
regular sprues.
If you go for some like old school starter box sets, those are really easy. Those are usually click on. But again, with all the Primaris Marines and all that kind of stuff, your old models will look goofy. If you're starting out new, might as well go for the starter set edition that's coming out. Yeah. Next question.
This one's by Noob. At what point do we start taking shots for the OMS question game? As soon as the video starts, or when the first question is asked?
When the first question is asked. Because like we say question in the beginning like maybe 5 or 6 times. So you won't even get to watch the video.
Yeah, your liver would long be dissolved in your acidic fluids by then.
Unless you're a Space Marine. In that case, then you're good. You could just drink a bottle if you want.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what this game is, it's basically you take a shot every time you say question when we do the For the Greater Wars.
Yes, but we do not condone
underage drinking, drinking on the job, drinking while driving, drinking while drinking more drinks.
Basically. Next question.
This one is by Barack Clinton. Wow. Skitarii versus Space Marines. Who's more powerful?
Space Marines, hands down.
Yeah. Skitarii are basically humans with like cybernetics.
Yep. And then on top of that, you got to remember a Space Marine thinks on his own. A Skitarii gets protocols sent to him.
Data.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Little Mikey. What does a Tyranid taste like? I would think they might be something like a lobster, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they're definitely not. There's not one taste for all of them. So if you go for something like a Carnifex or a Carnifex, that would taste like a lobster because there's more meat to it. It has to carry these huge weapons or huge melee sights and whatnot. So you have good, nice, meaty claws that you can crack open and eat. But if you're looking at something as like a lictor or a gaunt, that's gonna taste more like a cricket.
Yeah, I could already think of it. Just burn one up and just crunch into it.
Mm-hmm. Or you know what? Go into your local pet shop and they usually have a container full of crickets and cardboard because crickets eat cardboard. Open the lid up and stick your head in and just take a huge whiff of everything. That's what a Tyranid gaunt would taste like.
Interesting. I'm gonna try that. This one's by Colin Turner Todd. How do I get my girlfriend into Warhammer 40K? She likes anime, drawing, she is a furry, she likes watching TV, and the video game Overwatch, Spyro and Alice Madness Returns.
Say no more, fam. Tau.
There you go. Get her drawing some Gundam Tau.
Yeah. Go on eBay and buy some female Tau. Actually, that might not work because they're pretty provocative looking. Yeah, just start her off with a Tau starter set.
Get a Space Marine and just convert a foxtail and ears on it. That'll get her furry side going.
Yep, or introduce her into the lore of the abhumans known as... What are they known as?
The furries.
Are they furries, really?
I think that's what they're called, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but basically they are humans that lived on a planet and they evolved into tiger-like humans. You can't really... there is no rules for them, but you can, you can customize them. And she can start an Imperial Guard army with an all-furry troop choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a little expensive, and you might have to shop around for a good furry model to replace your Imperial Guardsmen heads with. But it'll be fun for you guys to do.
Yep, something you can indulge in together.
Mm-hmm. Next question comes from Rados. RADOSSZ. How PC era is changing 40K? Or if the 40K not affected by this heresy? How PC era?
Oh, politically correct.
Oh, okay. How is it changing 40K?
The only thing I could think of is the whole PETA thing, where they said it's not ethical to have your models or any likeliness of, Space Marines, Imperial Guard, wearing pelts, like wolf pelts for the space wolves and stuff.
Yeah, the community really was in an uproar when GW put out a statement saying that the Imperial Guardsmen don't condone that and blah, blah, blah. But what I have to tell you guys is, do not fight butthurt with more butthurt. Because that's what you guys were doing. Getting butthurt over somebody else's getting butthurt. So just move on.
Yeah, just rise above it. After all, it's just a game. I mean, yeah, PETA has bigger things to worry about instead of targeting Warhammer. The hell. But I mean,
yeah, you got a lot of Primaris Marines to paint, so just worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
Madara Uchiha Mizukage. Do you think it's possible to completely exterminate a race in 40K?
Yes, it's happened before. The Brain Boys were completely exterminated. The old ones technically were exterminated.
Yeah.
I ran out. I ran out of races that I can think of off the top of my head.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of races that we never hear about that did get exterminated, mainly because of the whole war in heaven. That was like murdering tons of like lives and beings. Also, Tyranids, they're known for eating up all the biomass on a planet. So if you've got a certain species that hasn't been like, what's the word I'm looking for? They haven't left their planet, like they're not space bound technologically, they're gonna get wiped out. So.
Yep. And also keep it, or well, I mean, if you were asking, is it possible for an extermination of a current race that's playable? No, GW wouldn't do that. Because then that means that you get to lose an entire model line. I don't think they want to do that. Next question comes from Sanders Stanley. How is the dating scene in the Imperium of Man / 40K universe? It is poppin'.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that you don't even have to fall in love. You are forced to reproduce because the planet that you live on has to provide a certain amount of tithe to the, is it the administratum?
I believe so.
Yeah. So yeah, women are just reproducing like crazy, and they need you. A lot of people are born through vats.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like that word, vats.
Hope that answers the question.
Alright, this next one is by Master Spookums. What is the cutoff age to become an Adeptus Astartes? Isn't it like 14?
Well, it's before you hit puberty, and people hit puberty at different times. I'm still waiting for mine. I'm gonna grow to be 6 feet tall.
That is too big.
So I can still be
Astartes.
There you go.
But, I mean, if you look at some of the lore, like for example for the Dark Angels, Luthor, the right-hand man to Lionel Johnson, was actually a full-grown man when he became an Astartes. He just managed to survive the process, which is really, really rare.
And he also got corrupted by Chaos.
He did. We don't talk about that.
Same thing with Lorgar and his father, or like adopted father or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was an old person when he became an Astarte, but again, Chaos. Last question by Bob Skywalker. Why are basically all Tau pussies afraid to get into melee?
Because we'll die.
Yeah.
Yeah, melee is not somewhere you want to be if you're a Tau. Generally, Tau are shorter, squattier, squishier race.
Hooves
are
hooves. Not as good as toes. So, yeah.
I mean, some of them are okay in combat. You got the Ethereal Anshi, and you've got Farsight, but those are like
2 out of how many?
A bunch. Because I don't think they number in the millions, the Tau. No, they have to. They're just not as plentiful as other races.
And those were the questions for this week. Thank you guys so much for sending those questions our way. If you guys want to ask us more questions, please comment down below. And we're still playing the question game, or I don't know if you're still playing the question game.
Hopefully you're not passed out.
Yeah.
But if you are passed out, make sure you keep us on autoplay so we can keep on answering your questions while you're passed out.
Thank you guys. I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, as always, you can hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. Check us out on Facebook because we have the images of the Reivers, the Chaplain, the Apothecaries, and the Aggressor Primaris Marines. So, awesome sauce.
See you guys tomorrow.
This is Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we're out of here.